What gave you a sense of wonder in gaming when you were younger? Likewise, what gives you a sense of wonder in games now?
I was born in 1975, and really until the 90s, you couldn't get that same wonderful sense of immersion and being in a fantastical place anywhere else, at least not in an interactive form. So while you could picture the vistas and so on from a well-written book, you could not experience that sense of being in another place in the vast and overwhelming majority of computer games at the time, which I think is the only other place you can even have a chance of experiencing that level of immersion. So what gave me that sense of wonder when it came to tabletop games was that sense of immersion in the other world, of becoming someone else, acting as someone else, living somewhere else, doing things in a different fantastical context. And the only other place I get that feeling really is when I'm writing, not reading. It's when I'm creating. So that was a big part of it, I think. And also the fact that I could create that in others, which is why being a games master has always appealed to me more, that I can spin a tale, that I can create a world using my words, that I can conjure a group hallucination from language merely by describing things and the nuance of the words that I use to describe it. That gave me that sense of wonder. That aspect still gives me that sense of wonder. It is more difficult, though, these days to get that sense of wonder. There are so many things that get in the way. All of the stuff around the game, the culture around it, the erosion and loss of that sense of solidarity and community, constantly having to be aware in certain contexts that someone's not necessarily on board to the same extent that you are. But where I get that sense of wonder still might be diminished, but it is in those moments where the penny drops for a player, or where they're experiencing an intensity of emotion, where they're experiencing immersion. Not that they think that they're their character, but where they are thinking as their character and experiencing the world. And you can tell when the way that you're describing things and the way that you are conveying the theme and the mood and everything else, you can tell when that's got someone hooked, and at least for a moment, a fleeting moment, they're experiencing that other. And I think that ability of language to shape experience, to create a virtual or augmented reality, if you're LARPing, I guess, that's the closest thing there is to magic in the world. Not to come over all Alan Moore, but yeah, that's the closest you can get to actually casting spells or whatever it is that you can bewitch and beguile people with your language, and at least for a moment create another world.